be taking you through a really slow and gentle flow that will be good for if you just need to relax a little bit or maybe just to do before bed. So we're going to start off lying down on our backs. So starting off really nice and gently, straightening the legs out in front of you on the mat. Let the feet be about mat distance apart. You might want to adjust the shoulders here so that you can feel really grounded down through your whole spine into the earth. And we're going to bring our right hand to the base of the belly and our left hand onto our chest. And to begin, we'll just take 10 slow and deep breaths here. Inhaling through the nose. And exhaling through the nose. Using this time at the start of your practice to tune into the space, to really ground yourself into this moment. For the next 30 minutes or so of the class, the only place you need to be is here, and the only thing you need to do is breathe. If you choose to stay here in this position for the entire class, you'll still be practicing yoga. And we really want to tell our nervous systems that they can calm down here. So by extending your inhalations and exhalations, you'll be activating the parasympathetic nervous system, and that gets us into the rest and digest state. So with all the uncertainty that's going on at the moment, you might feel like your nervous system is quite wired up all the time. And even something so simple as taking 5 minutes out of your day to lie down and just slow down the breath and observe how that breath moves your body can be really, really beneficial. Working as well while we're here to even out the inhalations and exhalations. So maybe you might find that doing a count of 6 for your inhale and 6 for the exhale might work nicely for you. From here, we're going to start to direct our breathing a little bit more into different areas of the body. So with your next inhalation, see if you can feel the inhale into the base of the belly. Feeling the right hand lift as you expand. And exhale, softening that back down. Inhaling again into the base of the belly, feeling the right hand lift. Exhaling, belly button draws back to spine. We'll take 2 more deep belly breaths. With your next inhalation, see if you can hold the belly still and send the inhale up into your chest, so the top part of your lungs. Feeling the left hand rise and fall as you exhale. Noticing that you might have to keep a bit more tension through the abdominal muscles to breathe into this space. 2 more full breaths here. And then we'll take 3 breaths using our whole lungs completely, so that full expansive 360 breath. As you inhale, the rib cage moves out to the side, lifts up, then feeling the breath into the back body as well. And as you exhale, everything draws back in gently. Inhaling to expand completely. Exhale, release it. Last breath, inhale to all areas. Feeling a lightness in the body at the top of the inhalation. And exhaling to let it all go. From there, we'll draw the knees up in towards the chest. Holding on to your shins, starting to rock gently from side to side on the back. From there, we'll keep a hold of the right leg and send the left leg out long on the mat, so that you're pressing the heel away from you and really lengthening through that leg. Draw the right knee really nice and close in towards the chest. Trying to keep the back and the neck long, maybe drawing chin into chest slightly. From there, we're going to interlace underneath the right leg, so you're joining your hands on the hamstring there. And as you exhale, maybe start to straighten into that leg, but keeping the knee in close to the chest. Inhale to let go of that. And exhale, straightening out the leg, keeping the knee in, so the leg doesn't have to come straight. We're just coming to where we can feel a sensation in the hamstring. Inhale, bending the leg. 2 more like this. Exhale, starting to straighten. Inhale, soften. Last one here. And then we're going to start to draw the knee out to the side slightly. So taking a hold of the right knee with the right hand. See if you can draw it round the side of the ribs, so the knee's coming up towards the right armpit, and keeping grounded through the left shoulder and arm. So you might start to feel a slight stretch on the inner thigh here. From there, we're going to reach down to hold on either to the ankle, the shin, or the outer edge of the right foot. Keeping the knee drawing down to the armpit, back of the head on the mat. We're going to start to send the heel up towards the ceiling. So we're coming to our half happy baby pose. Feeling a stretch on the glute, maybe the hamstring, and in the hip. We're going to stay here for 5 slow breaths. Gently release the hold of the foot, drawing the knee back into your chest. And then taking a hold of the leg with the left hand, send the right arm out long to the side and start to bring the knee across the torso so that the right knee is coming down towards the earth, but keeping both shoulders grounded onto the mat. Feeling a nice twisting sensation through the spine. to bring the leg back up to center. Squeezing the knee into the chest once more. And then bring the left leg to join it. Taking a moment to roll out the spine. So using this moment to move intuitively with what your body is telling you it wants. What feels good? Where can you feel the tension? And then we're going to interlace the hands on the left shin. Send the right leg out straight. And draw the left knee nice and tight into the chest. Really trying to ground down through the whole of the right leg. So the quad might be quite active here if you want to work a little bit harder. And then we'll interlace the hands on the left hamstring. And exhale to straighten into the left leg. Inhale to bend the leg, draw the knee in close to the chest. As you exhale, try and keep the knee as close as you've got it now and just moving the shin away. Inhaling to bend the leg. Exhale, straighten. One more of these. Then we're bending the leg, taking a hold of the left top of the shin with the left hand, and start to open the leg out to the side. So you're letting the left leg come to the side of the left ribs and drawing the knee up towards the armpit. Feeling the opening here through the hips and the inner thigh. Keeping the right side of the body grounded. And then reaching down for the ankle, shin, or the inside of the left foot. Outside of the left foot even. And we're going to start to lift the heel up to the ceiling. Keeping the leg moving down. So the legs by your side ribs, the knee drawing into the armpit. 5 slow breaths here. And bending the leg back in towards you. Squeezing the knee to chest. Take a hold of the knee with the right hand. Send the left arm out long, gazing to the thumb. And taking your twist the opposite way. Inhale to bring the leg back up to center. Squeezing the knee to your chest once more. Bring the right leg to join it. And rolling out on the spine. From there, taking both hands to the back side of the legs. And taking an inhale to roll onto the back. And exhale, maybe rolling up to sit bones. Inhale, rolling back. Exhale to the sit bones. 2 more like this. This time, exhale, maybe finding a comfortable cross-legged seat at the top of the mat. And when you're there, take an inhalation, roll the shoulders up to the ears. Exhale, squeezing them back and down. We'll do one more like that. Inhale, shoulders up to ears. Exhaling back and down. Let the right arm be really, really heavy next to your body. And drop the left ear towards the left shoulder. So you should start to feel a stretching sensation in the side of the neck here. And we can walk the right fingertips further away to increase that sensation. And maybe take the left hand onto the top side of the head to add a gentle pressure through here. Tucking the chin and maybe lifting it to see how that changes the sensation. And finding somewhere in the middle, so finding a good point where you can feel a nice tension releasing stretch. Gently releasing the left hand, tucking the chin into the chest so the head's bowing forwards, and draw a line across your collarbones until right ear comes to meet right shoulder. And walking the left fingertips away, we're taking the stretch onto the other side. Maybe adding a little bit of weight through the right hand. And finding that place that feels good for you. Seeing if as you exhale you can imagine that area softening and releasing. And then gently dropping the right hand down, tucking the chin back into chest and drawing the line across your collarbones till left ear meets left shoulder. And then we're going to continue making these little half circles with the head. If your neck's feeling okay and it feels good in your body, you can start to circle the chin all the way up, taking the full neck roll. Keeping the shoulders heavy and relaxed. And limiting the movement to just your neck. When you next come to a center point, take it the opposite way. And then bringing your head back up to center, gently blinking open the eyes. We're going to roll over the knees to come to find a tabletop position. From there, take an exhalation to press into the fronts of the feet and press through the hands to arch the spine up. And take an inhale to lift the sit bones to the ceiling, drop the belly, draw the chest between the arms. Exhale, arching the opposite way. Inhale to expand through the front of the body. Either continuing with this linear movement or starting to add some side stretching onto your cat-cow sequence. And beginning to move a little bit more intuitively, a little bit freer. Just rolling through the spine, maybe bending the elbows a little bit. Rocking the weight backwards and forwards. Starting to move however feels good for you. So have a few breaths here, just for this more free-flowing movement. And then we'll inhale to all meet together in a tabletop, tucking under the toes. Start to push through the hands, sending the hips back to the heels, so much so that the knees might lift off, keeping the arms strong and active here. We'll start to straighten into the legs and send the sit bones up to the ceiling, finding our downward facing dog. Take a nice deep bend through the knees here and really engage through the arms. See if you can lift the sit bones a little bit higher, pushing the mat away from you. Lengthening out through the spine, feeling the stretch on the underside of the armpits. And then maybe we gently straighten the legs out. We can start to work to softening the heels down towards the mat. And feeling free to keep moving in your downward facing dog if that feels good for you. From there, we're going to inhale and lift up onto the toes. And we're going to exhale through the mouth as we lower the heels down. 2 more like that. Inhale, lift to the toes, chest back to the legs. Exhale through the mouth. 1 more. Inhale, lift. Exhale, sigh out. Inhale to send the gaze between the hands. And slowly start to walk the feet up to the top of the mat. Let the feet come to about hip distance apart. And here we're going to hold on to opposite elbows. And we're going to let the torso hang in this forward fold position. So we're really trying to let go of any effort here. We might soften the knees a lot. Just trying to find length through the spine and the back of the body. And we'll hold here for a few breaths. So see if as you stay, you can feel yourself softening over the legs a little bit more. Maybe letting the backs of the hands rest onto the ground. Letting go of any tension in the neck. Let the head be nice and heavy. Feeling the weight evenly between the toes and the heels. And then taking an exhale to bend into the knees, really ground down through the feet. And use your full inhalation to slowly, slowly roll up through the spine. Until the shoulders roll back and down and the head's the last thing to lift. Taking a step up to the top of your mat. We're going to inhale to reach the arms up. And exhale, take a hold of the left wrist with the right hand. Really ground down through the feet. And start to reach the right arm up and over. So finding a side body stretch. Trying to keep the core engaged, keep the hips pressing forwards. Looking for some sensation in the side body. Taking a few breaths here. Inhaling to come back up to center. Take a hold of the right wrist with the left hand. Inhale, stretch the arm up. Exhale, side stretch the other side. exhaling to come back to center. And as we exhale, we're going to send the hips back, folding down from the hips. Reach the arms around to the sides and find your forward fold. Inhale to lift the fingertips onto the shins and try to straighten out your spine, finding a flat back. Exhale, plant the hands down, bending the knees as much as you need to step the right foot back, softening the knee down onto the mat. Untuck the toes and take an inhale to lift the arms up. Exhale to plant the hands down around front foot, tucking onto back toes. Inhale to step back into your plank position. Exhale to lower down the knees and then lower down your torso all the way to the ground. Inhale to press through the fronts of the feet, lift the chest off. Maybe squeeze the back body enough that you can float the hands. Exhaling, softening down. Pressing through the knees, push the hands into the mat underneath the shoulders to lift yourself back up to your plank. And from there, tuck onto the toes, lift the hips high to a downward facing dog. From there, we're going to inhale, send the gaze forwards and step the right foot between the hands, softening onto left knee, untuck the toes. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, plant hands around front foot. Take an inhalation to step the left foot to meet the right at the top of the mat. And an exhale to fold. Inhale, reverse swan dive the arms all the way back up, gazing to the thumbs. Exhaling to release the hands back to your chest. We'll repeat this time, stepping with the left leg. Inhale, the arms up. Exhale, folding from the hips. Inhale, lift the chest halfway. Exhale, plant the hands, stepping back with the left foot, softening onto back knee, and inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, plant the hands around front foot, tuck onto the toes, and inhale to step into your plank. This time either coming down onto knees or staying high on the toes. Exhale to lower yourself slowly all the way down to the mat. Inhale, press through the fronts of the feet. Squeezing the shoulders back, lift the chest. Maybe pushing through the hands a little bit more this time. Stretching through the front of the body. Exhale, soften down. Inhale to tuck the toes under, neither staying on toes or using your knees. Exhale, push back to your plank. And lift the hips high to a downward facing dog. Inhale, step the left foot between the hands. Soften onto right knee. Exhaling here. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, plant the hands around front foot. Inhale, the right foot steps to the front of the mat. Exhaling, fold. Inhale, reverse swan dive the arms up. Gaze to the thumbs. Exhale, hands to your chest. This time we're going to flow through to come to our downward facing dog. When you're ready, inhale the arms up, gaze to the thumbs. Exhale, fold down. Inhale, gaze to the front of the mat. Exhale, plant the hands, step the right foot back. Inhale to step the left foot back. Exhale to lower down through your chaturanga. Either coming all the way to the ground and practicing a cobra like before, or inhaling into your upward facing dog. Exhaling to downward facing dog. And from there we're going to inhale to lift the right leg up behind us. Keep pushing the floor away with the hands, kicking back through the right heel, feeling the stretch on the back of the left leg. One more breath here. And as you exhale, bring the right knee forwards to right elbow and the ankle forwards towards the left wrist. And set your shin across the front of the mat. Send the left toes back and untuck them. So we're setting up for our pigeon pose. So depending on how much flexibility you've got in the front hip, you can take your front leg either closer in towards your hip, and that will be easier. Or if you want more sensation, we take the heel out further and we come to more of a 90-degree angle with the leg. But you want to be keeping the hips square to the front of the mat. And from there we're going to start to walk the hands forwards to maybe soften onto the forearms. And if that's feeling okay, we'll walk the hands further, softening all the way down to rest the forehead. And we're going to stay here in our pigeon pose for 10 deep breaths, feeling the releasing sensation in the right glute. Inhaling to walk the hands back in towards you. Framing the front leg, tuck under the back toes, and we're going to try and lift out of this actively. So lifting the back knee off, start to draw the belly button back to the spine so you're supporting your lower back, and push through the hands enough that you can lift the front leg off and step in slowly back into downward facing dog. Take a moment here to pedal out the legs. And then we're going to inhale to lift the left leg up behind. Kicking through the left heel, trying to keep the hips square, feeling the stretch sensation in the right hamstring. Maybe the right calf's feeling it too. Keep pressing evenly through both hands. One more inhalation here. And then exhale, bring the left knee to left elbow, left ankle to right wrist. And set yourself up for your pigeon pose on the other side. Walking the right toes back, keeping the hips nice and square to the front. We'll take a couple of breaths in this lifted position to begin with. And then we'll start to walk the hands forwards very gently. Coming down to the forearms first, and if that's enough for you, you stay here. Alternatively, if you've got a pillow or a bolster or anything, you can rest that in front of you and you can fold over that. If everything's feeling great, we can walk the hands forwards even more and rest the forehead down to the mat. Ready for our 10 deep breaths on this side. Inhaling to walk the hands slowly back in. Framing the front leg, we're going to tuck under the back toes and lift the back knee off. Draw belly button back to spine and push through the hands to lift the left leg off. And step it gently back into your downward facing dog. Pedaling through the legs here. From there, you might want to take a step in to shorten the stance of your downward facing dog. And we're going to reach the left hand to the outside of the right leg. So holding on to the thigh, the calf, maybe the ankle. And we're going to start to find a twist here. So keep pushing through the right hand and drawing your chin underneath the right armpit. Inhaling to come back to center, plant the left hand and take the right hand to the outside of the left leg, thigh, calf or ankle, and twisting the opposite way. Inhale back to center. Sending the gaze between the thumbs, softening at the knees, and then hopping or stepping through to a seated position on the mat. Take the legs out long in front of you and find the sit bones. We're going to inhale to reach the arms up. And exhale, we're going to soften over the legs, coming to a seated forward fold. Maybe resting the hands on the calves or the ankles. Maybe you can reach the feet and use that to lift the chest up here. So you're keeping the spine long as you fold. So you're aiming for belly button to thighs and then chin to shins rather than really rounding through the back. So just coming to the point of the fold that feels accessible and feels good for you. And at a point where you can start to relax and slow the breathing. Maybe noticing the breath more into the back of the body. Releasing any tension in the back of the neck. And then gently bringing yourself back up to seated. Plant the soles of the feet. Shuffle the hips forward slightly. Reaching arms either side of the legs. And take 2 slow breaths to lower yourself down to the mat. So rolling each vertebra at a time. Until the back of the head comes to the mat. From there, we're going to shuffle ourselves a little bit further if you're close to a wall like I am. So that we can start to press the palms of the hands into the earth. And then we're going to draw the knees up to the chest. And then using the momentum of pushing the arms into the ground, we're going to start to take the legs all the way overhead. So we're coming to our plow pose. So maybe the toes reach the ground behind you. And you can lift up through the hips slightly, kicking through the heels. I have to move my hand. And then maybe interlacing the hands behind the back. Shuffling the shoulders under. And feeling that stretch all the way along the back body. Keeping the breath nice and slow here. If this doesn't feel comfortable for you, we can come to a diamond leg forward fold, or if the toes don't reach, you can stay with them hovering. Maybe you can find some books to bring the toes down onto. But just thinking of alternatives that feel better for you, working with where your body's at today. If we did bring the legs all the way over, unclasping the hands, and then really, really slowly, gently rolling the spine back down onto the mat. And from there, you might need to slightly shuffle again. Taking the legs out long. Bring the arms down by the sides, the palms of the hands facing up towards the ceiling. And we're coming to our Shavasana. So letting go of any effort in the muscles. Slowing down the breath. And then maybe just releasing all control of the breath. And just letting it flow. And letting yourself be here in this moment. If you find the mind starts to wander, we can count the breaths. Or maybe just acknowledging the thought you're having, observing it, and then gently bringing yourself back to the present moment. So meditation isn't about having no thoughts at all. It's about not letting those thoughts take you away with them. Keeping yourself grounded. Slowly bringing your awareness back into your surroundings. Deepening the breath. Wiggling fingers and toes. Gently rocking the head from side to side. And when you're ready, bending up the legs towards you. And rolling all the way over onto your right hand side. Taking some deep breaths here in this fetal position. Symbolizing rebirth, reborn into your morning, afternoon, evening, a little bit lighter in both body and mind. Gently making your way back up to seated, letting the eyes remain closed or the gaze soften down. Allow the palms to rest onto the knees, grounding down through the sit bones and lifting up through the crown of the head. And we'll finish our practice with 3 closing breaths. Take an inhale, bring the arms up around either side of the ears. Exhale, bring the hands to chest. 2 more in your own rhythm. Bowing your head towards your hands. Bring your thumbs to your third eye to think kind thoughts, to your lips to speak kind words, and back to your chest to have a kind heart. Thank you very much for practicing with me. Namaste.